welcome from Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium. It is a very, very special occasion today because it's Eid. We're talking about being in the festive period. Eid Mubarak to everybody that is following our cricket coverage. And what better when we're talking about cricket coverage to have somebody in the festive wear. I'm talking about Grant Elliott all the way from New Zealand, looking very dapper in his kurta. And I've got to say, these Peshawari chappals, Grant, it's making the whole attire very special.
Well, I will say, Zainab, they're as comfortable as they look, and we were out last night, me and Millsy, the two Kiwis were out last night, downtown Islamabad. It was vibrant, and you could just feel that festive feeling of Eid.
What did you get up to on the streets? I mean, did you get the mendi? I mean, that tattooing?
No, I didn't. Should I get that?
It's more for the ladies.
Okay, well, I'll get Millsy to get that one. But we went shopping, we had food, we had beautiful local cuisine. And you can just feel everyone is really excited for Eid. But even better, we've got cricket during Eid. It's amazing.
Did you do the haka dance on the streets of Islamabad?
No haka. No haka yet, but I'm still learning that one.
All right, listen, I'm really hungry. It is Eid, and Eid is all about integrating food, culture, and cricket. So I'm going to go and have some biryani while we have the next set of people come in and talk to you about their Eid. All right, Sikandar and Kyle Mills joins us.
Yeah, hi, I've got the tallest man in Islamabad next to me. It's all about festive season. Of course, colors and everything. Nice kurta. How does it feel to be in this outfit?
Absolutely loving it. Without any word of a lie, these are the most comfortable pants I have ever worn.
Yeah.
I would have played cricket in these pants, without question.
And I've got your shoes on. You should be going with your kurta.
I've got Bigfoot shoes on.
That would be a problem. How about the food? How's it been? You've been out and about?
Yeah, loving it. Went out last night with your good self, and we had a great time in the streets of Islamabad. Bit of shopping, bit of food with Grant Elliott, and he ate far too much. He was his manners at the food table, hogging everything was stood out for me, but the food was great and the company was even better.
Yeah, and the man can drive, I can tell you that. He got us home safe. We'll talk more about that. We've got more people to share the Eid festive moments.
थैंक यू सिकंदर एंड कायज। और अगर मेरे साथ अगर हम रावलपिंडी में मौजूद हैं तो मेरे साथ लोकल बॉय फ्रॉम इस्लामाबाद बाजिद खान का होना बहुत जरूरी है। लुकिंग वेरी डैपर इन ग्रीन बाजिद।
थैंक यू। पहली दफ़ा आपने मेरी तारीफ की है। दूसरी बात यह है कि आपको पता है ना, इस्लामाबाद में ईद जल्दी शुरू होती है, कराची में शायद ज़रा लेट शुरू होती है। यहाँ तो 7 बजे नमाज भी हो जाएगी, उसके बाद लोग भी आना शुरू हो जाएंगे। आपके यहाँ तो शायद 11 बजे शुरू होती है।
नहीं जी, हम भी बिल्कुल टाइम पे शुरू करते हैं। बट बर्निंग क्वेश्चन ये है कि बाजिद आप इस दफ़ा मुझे कितनी ईदी देंगे?
देखिए, इस दफ़ा ईद के रेट्स आए हैं वो बहुत स्लैश हुए हैं। दोस्तों में रेट्स आए हैं वो 100 रुपये से 50 रुपये हो गए हैं। आप मेरी खास दोस्त हैं तो आपको 25 रुपये दे दूंगा।
चले जी, आपने सुन लिया कि बाजिद मुझे ईद पे क्या देंगे, बट ये है सीजन क्रिकेट का, तो ईद मुबारक के साथ आप सबको बहुत बहुत क्रिकेट मुबारक।
We are coming at you with the speed of light.
Pakistan rode on the lightning strikes of Horace Rove to ease to victory in the first T20 international. In the second match, homegrown hero of Lahore, Babar Azam hit a majestic ton to set up yet another win.
The king stands tall once again tonight, and he lights up Gaddafi Stadium. Third T20I century for Babar Azam. Well, the king, you can take a bow.
With the series on the line, it was desperate times for New Zealand. Tom Latham led the fight back with a half-century to help his side put a modest total. Pakistan batting crumbled against some good bowling and brilliant fielding.
Oh, he's played that in the air and should be gone. Yes, the catch has been taken, and that's a wicket for Adam Milne.
At 88 for 7, Pakistan looked down and out till this man produced something spectacular. Needing 72 from the last 5 overs, Iftikhar lit up the Lahore skyline.
There it is, massive, and it's gone high into the night sky. Oh, full toss, and that's been put away in style. That's gone the distance.
Fahim Ashraf also kept Pakistan's hopes alive as the match headed for a thrilling finish.
Pakistan, they're not dealing in ones and twos, they're dealing in boundaries.
There was drama and more drama.
God, Darren Mitchell with the catch. Crowd goes silent. If the car goes bang, and bang he goes as that sails away. victory. Into the pitch. He's hit it high, but he's not got the distance. Got it in the deep. New Zealand win.
New Zealand held on to their nerves to pull off a close win and kept the series alive.
Hello and welcome from Pindi Cricket Stadium. We are here for the 4th T20 International. It is the Bank Al-Falah Dafa News series between Pakistan and New Zealand. Yeah, 4th T20 International between Pakistan and New Zealand. New Zealand have managed to redeem themselves and made a comeback in that previous T20 International. It was a wonderful performance by them. Hello and welcome to Inverex's Solar Energy Pitchside Show. I've been joined by a very festive audience today, I would rather say, on this pitchside show. Looking very dapper is Arooj Mumtaz, and alongside him, Kyle Mills. Kyle, you look like a local today, right up from the hills somewhere, looking fabulous.
I'm pleased that I fit in, but I'm loving the colours. I'm loving seeing the smiles on everyone's faces and the atmosphere, you know, around the city.
I was a little skeptical with regards to your size, if we'll be able to find a kurta for you, for somebody of your height, but you've managed to do really well.
And I've managed to squeeze into my shoes as well. It was my last option.
Yeah, Peshawari chappals, but when talking about size, no such issues here with regards to the person on my left. No issues there. You're looking great, Arooj, and really in that festive spirit of Eid.
It has to be. I think it's a wonderful amalgamation, and I think that, like the tagline's been going, Eid Mubarak with Cricket Mubarak. Firstly, you, as always, beautiful as ever, not just because you're my friend, because you look it as well.
All right. Thank you so much. We're all looking beautiful. That's what Arooj thinks, but we need the cricket to be beautiful as well, Kyle. Great recovery from New Zealand in that last T20 International. It was important for them to stay afloat in the series.
Look, they needed it. They needed it big time to boost the confidence within the group. Those first two games, they really got a good old rough touch-up from the Pakistan side. I really felt like they were on the back foot in both those games, almost waiting for something to happen. The big difference that I noticed in Game 3 was that they tried to take the game on. They tried to be a bit more proactive, especially batting, especially also with the ball, try and take wickets. So there's a big attitude difference.
Yeah, talking about attitude difference, one thing that did help New Zealand, Arooj, was their spinners. The way they performed, Rachin, Ravindra, and then Ish Sodhi. It's just nice to see a bit of fight from them.
I think it's like what Kyle Mills is saying. It was important for them to take the game on, and that's probably where it turned. Although Pakistan and Iftikhar did everything in their power to still get them over the line, but it was also the experience pack of the New Zealand camp to come through. Latham with the runs up top, Mitchell with a wonderful in the field anyways, and then Jimmy Neesham bowled that last over. I'm sure he wasn't in the plans because Ben Lister came out with an ankle injury, but for that group and Ish Sodhi leading the spinners, Rachin obviously younger and more inexperienced, but he came to the party. So I thought it was a group effort. Their experienced campaigners shone through, and for the sake of the series, I think 2-1 coming to Pindi, which, wow, again, I mean, let's not forget what happened in Pindi just a month ago. So it's going to be a very difficult game tonight.
Yeah, we got to witness a bit of Ifti mania in that last game, though. Like Arooj said, he literally nearly managed to pull it off for Pakistan, and he features in our Star Talk today.
Star Talk, brought to you by Inverex Solar Energy. Well, I've got alongside me the hero from that last game who almost snatched the game away from the opposition. It was a game to watch, went down to the wire. Pakistan couldn't cross that finishing line. But let's get to know more about what happened that particular evening. Iftikhar हमारे साथ आप हैं. 72 चाहिए थे. आखिरी 5 ओवर में 3 विकेट हाथ में थे. क्या सोच के एंटर हुए थे ग्राउंड में?
जिस तरह सिचुएशन था उस टाइम पे तो थोड़ा मुश्किल लग रहा था. और आते ही शादाब से यही बात हुई कि यार क्या हो रहा है. कह रहे विकेट बिल्कुल सही है, बॉल सही आ रहा है, मगर हम मतलब बाउंड्री के पीछे जाएंगे. तो वही हुआ कि उसको मैंने यही बताया कि मतलब अब हम एवरेज की नहीं देखेंगे. अगर आप एवरेज को देखेंगे तो 16-15 की एवरेज है. नहीं, हम बाउंड्री पे जाएंगे. हम 1-2 ओवर को टारगेट करके ना 3 से 4 बाउंड्री मार के हम मैच में इन हो जाएंगे. वही प्लान था. उस पे प्लान पे थोड़ा डिस्ट्रिक्ट.
आखिरी ओवर 15 रन, क्या प्लान था? एक चौका छक्का भी लग चुका था, बिल्कुल करीब पहुंच गए थे विक्ट्री के.
बिल्कुल जिस तरह मेरा बल्ले पे बॉल आ रहा था तो चाहिए था कि ये मैच फिनिश कर देता, क्योंकि मुझे बहुत अफसोस है जिस तरह मैं मैच में आया, मैच को करीब लेके आया और फिनिश ना कर सका, तो मेरे ख्याल में ये फिनिश करना चाहिए था।
एज अ प्लेयर कितना आसान होता है स्विच ऑफ करना कि भाई रात गई बात गई, वो मैच अब नहीं हासिल कर सके, अब अगले की तरफ फोकस करना है?
जी बिल्कुल, देखो एज ए प्रोफेशनल आपने ना हर कंडीशन को उसमें अपने आप को एडजस्ट करना है। लाहौर की कंडीशन अलग थी, पिंडी की कंडीशन अलग है, और जो परफॉर्मेंस आपसे गुजर गई वो तो पास्ट हो गई। अभी आपको प्रेजेंट में रहना है और टाइम टू टाइम आपने परफॉर्म करना है अपने मुल्क के लिए। तो यही फोकस है कि आज भी उससे ज़्यादा बेहतर करूं और अपने टीम के लिए, अपने मुल्क के लिए परफॉर्म करूं।
20 बॉलों पे 60 बना जाए कोई और 15 चाहिए हो आखिरी ओवर में, तो लगता है कि भाई मैच हाथ में। अब क्या लगता है जिस बॉल पे आउट हुए, क्या हुआ था? बॉल शॉट क्या गलत हो गया था?
बिल्कुल मेरे स्लॉट में बॉल था, जो मेरा फेवरेट बॉल है वही था, मगर थोड़ा नीचे रहा वो बॉल, बॉटम पे लगा है। उस वजह से हालांकि जिस तरह फॉर्म लगी थी और जिस तरह बल्ले पे बॉल आ रहा था वो छिक्के वाला बॉल था, मगर देखो हमारा बिलीफ अल्लाह के ज़ात पे है। मेरे ख्याल में ये नसीब में नहीं था, जिस तरह बॉल बल्ले पे आ रहा था फिनिश होना चाहिए था।
चले 33-19 बॉलों पे फिर 20 बॉलों पे 60 प्लस, आज भी उम्मीद करेंगे कि बहुत ज़बरदस्त बैटिंग होगी
इंशाल्लाह इंशाल्लाह। थैंक यू।
Star Talk brought to you by Inverix Solar Energy.
He's definitely one of the most cleanest strikers to come out of Pakistan cricket, Arooj. I mean, do you think he should be in the ODI setup as well? It's a burning question because we have a World Cup coming this year.
See, I think it's a huge point where somebody who's in form, we should make best use of him. Also, even in our ODI format, we still struggle in that 4, 5, 6 position. Again, I thought 8 wasn't the number, and probably his positioning and what he can do, had he come in at 5 or 6 and done this with partners still on the other end, he could have probably changed the game. So he's that middle order stability factor that he provides you, because he can also build in innings because he's got so much of experience, even in the longer version of the game. So I think while he's in red hot form and while, like you said, the World Cup's around the corner, unless we have better options, I think he fits in.
Kyle, what did you make of him? You got a glimpse of his innings and what he can do with the bat when he is in that kind of mode.
Well, I found him explosive. I think personally what he should take from that innings, that he has found a method. And that's a method to perform at this level, which is actually a really hard thing to do. You get lots of cricketers who play international cricket who struggle on what sort of game they should play. Well, last night he was forced into a situation where he had to take the game on, had to find the boundaries. He should take a lot of confidence that he can do that, and he can adapt that method to whatever situation the team requires moving forward.
All right, would you make any changes at all in this in the team from the other game?
It depends on Lister. I'm not too sure where he sits, being Lister. Hopefully he is available. But I think a winning team you should try and keep together. And one thing I will add in, the bowlers not to have any ego. Because all I've heard over the last 2-3 days, this is a very high scoring game. And this is a pitch out here. And the batters dominate. And that may well be the case. But the bowlers need to put the ego to one side. If you do get hit for a boundary, because it's going to happen, you might get hit for a couple of big sixes. That's how you bounce back. That very next delivery could be the winning and losing of the match.
All right, what about Pakistan? Can we expect a few changes?
Oh, I think, again, Pakistan, yes, leads the series 2-1, still has an opportunity to close it out tonight. But even then, I still feel it's an opportunity to try your bench strength. And one of the names that springs to mind, two names, in fact, Ehsanullah and Mohammad Haris. Whether they play or not, but I still feel they should get a chance, and that if Pakistan doesn't get over the line, those two changes will not be the reason and should not be the reason.
Let's not forget the pitch though here, Arooj. We saw all the HBL PSL games. You saw that expression of Matt Henry when he was earlier out on the field. He had a look at the wicket and he was absolutely stumped for words.
I saw tears. I think he was crying.
I think it's important, like Kyle said, not to shy away. You're not going to get hit for a couple of sixes. You'll probably get hit for a lot more. The problem is that the contest between the two skills of bowling and batting slightly, or well, more than slightly towards the batting end, but it needs to be that bowler who puts his hand up and says, well, irrespective, I'm still going to try my best balls and try and be as consistent, and then see what the batters have to do, because it is very, very close to the best road in Pakistan.
Yeah, they will have to bowl their best balls on this wicket in particular, because it heavily favors the batsman out there. We are ready with the toss now, so it's over to Bazid Khan, who's out there with the two captains.
Toss and pitch report brought to you by Inverex Solar Energy.
Focus shifts to Rawalpindi, this lovely boutique ground. I've got the match referee who will take things in order. Ali Naqvi, got Babar Azam and Tom Latham. Babar, I believe, has the point.
It's the call.
It is the call. Tails it is. Babar, what will you do and why?
We have bowling first. As you know, Pindi pitch always is a good pitch, so always stays here, and we will try to take early wickets in the first 6 overs and put pressure on them.
Yeah, change in venue. It's supposed to be a pitch where there's a lot of runs scored. Will there be a lot of change in tactic as well?
To be honest, not too much, but we have one change. Zaman in and Naseem is rest. Yes, conditions are, you know, always is Pindi is same. Lot of runs on this wicket, so we will try to minimum runs to and defend it.
There's a lot of chat about Ihsanullah not playing. Was he very close to be playing today?
Yes, he is very. Even everyone is playing to very close to the match. So we will decide to best combination to play every match. So yeah.
The last question before I let you go: what number is Iftikhar batting?
Inshallah, he's coming in on his number, but last match he's playing very well. Everyone is enjoying his innings, but unfortunately we are not finished that match, but everyone is enjoying it.
Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you.
Luck, brother. Good luck.
Tom lost the toss, different venue. What do you think the pitch will play like?
Yeah, it obviously looks a belter. Yeah, I think traditionally, probably over the PSL, we've seen some big scores here, so I guess we've got a good opportunity to try to put a good score on the board.
That last game, very important that you won. How has that affected that camp?
Yeah, obviously you performed really well, I think. Obviously batting first to put a decent score on the board, and then obviously to come across the line in a close one was really important for us, for the confidence of the group. And we talked about making small changes and learning from game to game, and I thought we've done that, you know, the last couple of games. And obviously this is a new venue, you know, somewhere we haven't played before, so it's important we try to adapt as quick as we can.
Talking about changes, do you have any change in your team?
Yeah, we've got 2 changes, just a couple of niggles in the group. So Ben Lister and Jimmy Nisha miss out, and Cole McConkey and Henry Shipley come in.
So it's more or less play better. It's a new venue, as you said. You've got all that history, all those data in.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously with the PSL games that have been played here recently, it obviously gives us some pretty recent knowledge. So yeah, we're obviously excited to get out there, and we've obviously heard about some big scores here, so hopefully we can put a good one on the board.
Thank you very much and go well.
Thank you.
So the news out here is that Pakistan have won the toss and elected to bowl. And to tell us more about the venue and the pitch, Grant. Looks an absolute belter, doesn't it, Grant?
Baz, you should be telling me about the pitch here. I mean, we heard from Tom Latham. Historically, we know it's high scoring. But I want to talk about, I guess, where we were bowling in Lahore. You looked at the series there. We don't have to talk about the boundaries. Boundary size is the same here. There's maybe a slight gust of wind. But when we look at Lahore, they were bowling back of a length. So they're bowling in this area here. They're banging it in, getting a little bit of variable bounce, bit of seam, and then maybe mixing it up with slower balls. But here, it's going to be about limiting the damage.
Limiting the damage, so no length balls. Where does the bowler go then? It's a very good pitch, as you suggest.
Well, you might start at length, but eventually, Baz, I reckon we got to look over here. We got to go to the Yorkers, and they're going to have to hit straight Yorkers and wide Yorkers. And if you can nail a Yorker, you can get in and out of your sets. So that's the most important thing, because when you're under pressure and you've got a batter who's in and you want to get him off strike, you want to be able to nail your Yorkers and get him off strike.
But if you don't nail the Yorker, you travel the distance. It's a difficult ball to execute.
Yeah, so I mean, nailing the Yorker, you have to be precise. Batters will walk around the crease to try and change your line, change your length. And if you miss the Yorker, as we saw with Iftikhar, you can go the distance. I mean, bowlers were trying to nail a Yorker on the toes. Batters were using their feet. They were coming out of the crease. They were going outside off towards leg. So the bowler has to be so precise. And on this ground, we know, historically high-scoring game, you've got to watch the batters and make sure those bowlers are really precise at the death.
Absolutely. Dancing shoes on. And with this dress, dance is the way forward. But a beautiful pitch to bat on.
Toss and pitch report brought to you by Inverex Solar Energy.
All right, Pakistan has won the toss and they have elected to field first. Different conditions here altogether. It's a different venue than Lahore. Plenty of runs, as you saw, and quite a few changes from both sides as well, which we will be talking about later on. Thank you so much, Kyle and Aruj, for your thoughts and your insight. Always a pleasure to have you guys on the pitch side. And we'll be taking a breather and back just in a bit. Quick reminder then, back on the Inverex Solar Energy pitch side show, Pakistan have won the toss and they have elected to field first. We're here in Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium and I've now been joined by Mr. Grant Elliott from the hills. That's what we like to call him. He looks exactly like he's from Nathya Gali or one of those areas. Looking great, Grant. And with him, the local boy, Bazid Khan, with a huge smile on his face.
Is she complimenting you? Or
yeah, I don't know, Baz. I don't know. I don't know what I look like here. I'm just going to take the compliments. Thank you very much, Zainab.
It is a compliment. Of course it is a compliment. Baz, you're looking great as well. How much Eidi have you given Aruj first? That's my first question.
Well, you know, they've said that this time around spend less. So as she's very close to me, they said about 50 rupees to your close friends. I went for 25.
25 rupees. 25 rupees Aruj gets. I mean, I'm expecting maybe like a 50, double of that. So we'll talk about the rates later on. Let's talk about the cricket as well. Grant, two changes for New Zealand. Ben Lister and McConkey, we're talking about them. Jimmy Neesham sits out due to a niggle. So they're on a high. They started off not that greatly, but then they've picked up just at the right time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting tonight because, you've got McConkey, you've got Ish Sodhi, and you've got Rachin Ravindra, so 3 spinners. But not only do you have 3 spinners, but you've also got the 3 seamers. You've got Henry, you've got Milne, and you've got Shipley. So it'll be interesting to see how Latham actually tries to rotate his bowlers. I don't think bowling is the problem. I think maybe managing the spinners through the middle, but I think the problem has been New Zealand's batting. They need someone to stand up, just like Tom Latham did in the last game, and I think that man is Daryl Mitchell. I feel like he's due for some runs, and that looks like an absolute belter of a pitch. So if they can get their batting right and those combinations right, I think the bowling takes care of itself.
This might be the wicket for Daryl Mitchell, considering we've seen so many heaps of runs based in the HPL PSL. From a Pakistan perspective, Zaman Khan comes back instead of Naseem Shah. Would you have hoped for more changes, or are you happy with the way the side is looking for this venue?
I think they've gone for Zaman Khan because they want bowlers at the death. There might be a situation where Imad Wasim gets a new ball. We'll have to wait and see for that. But I think they fancy Zaman Khan at the back end, and with this ground being so high scoring, the defensive skills of the bowlers will be tested. You would have liked to have Ihsanullah in the side, but we'll have to wait another game, I think.
What about Mohammad Haris? I mean, that is another question that's going around. Should he be given an opportunity? Again, somebody who did really well in the HPL PSL.
Yeah, look, the other side to that is that Rizwan did not play that previous series, so maybe Rizwan needs a go to get back into form. But obviously, you always want to see these exciting players, and this sort of pitch you would really have enjoyed. We'll still have to wait for that, but I think he's very close. I think that probably next game we'll have to play, because with the way that he bats and so explosive up the order, it actually helps Babar as well, because all the pressure's taken off in the power play.
Ihsanullah, anything, do you think he should be also given an opportunity in the next one?
Yeah, again, embarrassment of riches. Now you want Ihsanullah in. Everybody wants Ihsanullah to play. At a fantastic series against Afghanistan. I asked Babar, and he said he was very close. But I think they want to stick to the squad which can, or the team which can be very good defensively. Ihsanullah very young as such in his international career.
What about from a New Zealand perspective? You said that you'd like to see more of the batting, and this is exactly the venue where you can see that. Tom Latham with that fantastic knock. Would you expect a change of approach in these conditions? This is a different venue altogether, or do you think New Zealand should play it safe?
Yeah, well, I think, what Baz is talking about there is that the power play and also the death overs, they can be really important periods. But I think, what New Zealand tend to do is just more of the same. Like, it's consistency, and it's about having safety in the team, because if your place is safe, then it feels like you can express yourself as a player. So they keep with the same combinations generally. There's one player who I guess I'm slightly disappointed who's out of the team, and that's Jimmy Neesham, because I think he's a powerful hitter. And I think that you will need powerful hitters, and that's what Baz was talking about as well, is, maybe play a different game here, because it is bat dominates with ball here, and you want to get ahead of the game early. And I feel like New Zealand have been quite circumspect and quite relaxed in the first 6 overs. They're going to have to change that and look to try and up the ante a little bit.
Baz, you had a closer look at the pitch there, and you've got a smile on your face. Is it any different at all? I mean, do you see any speck of grass on this wicket?
It looks beautiful. It looks a pitch where Grant was almost ready to put his pads on. He was asking for his bat. The thing here is that because the pitch is so good, the outfield, I don't know if it'll be as quick as it is, because it rained a bit yesterday and a little bit this morning. But it's a very difficult ground to defend on. So actually bowling second is an issue, because there's no score that cannot be chased down, because that has such a high run scoring rate.
Yeah, you're talking about it being an absolute benter, and this validates that claim practically, because you look at the highest run rate in T20s, and this is since 2020, and you've got Pindi right up there with a run rate of 8.76, just behind Leeds, Taunton and Nottingham. And that tells you pretty much a story of how difficult life is here for the bowlers. I mean, just on what you've seen so far, I'm going to pick your brains on where do you bowl as a bowler? You're talking about what length do you bowl here in these conditions?
You stand at fine leg and look away when the captain says bowl. But you've got to go to your defensive or sort of death bowling very, very early. You cannot wait. Once couple of overs, if there's no swing, if the batter's getting on top, you have to go think death overs. You have to think death over. Yorkers, wide Yorkers. I don't think the slow one works too well, so it's either York or a bouncer, but you have to make sure that once, say, third, fourth over, you then go to that way of bowling. And that's why I think that's why they've picked Zaman Khan, because he's very good with the Yorker.
As a batsman, though, Grant, you would have loved to bat here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, listening to all the stories about this wicket and how batting dominant it is, of course you want to strap the pads on. Baz is going to give me some throwdowns after the game tonight. But you've got to look to dominate. I believe that T20 cricket, if you can have 5 big overs, 5 overs of over 15, close to 20, you know, there's 100 runs almost. And then you can just bat the other overs. But it's about matching up with that bowler that you like to face. So there'll come a time in this game where there'll be a bowler who knows he's got the ball in his hand and he's at the top of his mark and he knows the batters are hunting him. And it's going to be about damage control and about getting in and out of that set. But you still have to have that mindset as a captain of getting wickets. If you get wickets, then you can keep it steady.
Right, taking wickets is going to be key in these conditions, and how that's going to happen we'll find out later on. Pakistan has won the toss and they have elected to field first. We're just moments away from all the live action. It's going to be a fantastic contest between both sides, and don't go anywhere.
we are coming at you with the speed of light.
Pakistan rode on the lightning strikes of Horace Rove to ease to victory in the first T20 International. In the second match, homegrown hero of Lahore, Babar Azam hit a majestic ton to set up yet another win.
The king stands tall once again tonight and he lights up Gaddafi Stadium. Third T20I century for Babar Azam. Well, the king, you can take a bow.
With the series on the line, it was desperate times for New Zealand. Tom Latham led the fight back with a half-century to help his side put a modest total. Pakistan batting crumbled against some good bowling and brilliant fielding.
Oh, he's played that in the air and should be gone. Yes, the catch has been taken and that's a wicket for Adam Milne.
At 88 for 7, Pakistan looked down and out till this man produced something spectacular. Needing 72 from the last 5 overs, Iftikhar lit up the Lahore skyline.
There it is, massive, and it's gone high into the night sky. Oh, full toss, and that's been put away in style. That's gone the distance.
Fahim Ashraf also kept Pakistan's hopes alive as the match headed for a thrilling finish.
Pakistan, they're not dealing in ones and twos, they're dealing in boundaries.
There was drama and more drama.
Gone! Darren Mitchell with the catch. Crowd goes silent. If the car goes bang! And bang he goes as that sails away. If the car hits it, and he's gone, he's taken. That's the one hit that is not middle. 4 for a super over, 6 for a victory. Into the pitch. He's hit it high, but he's not got the distance. Caught in the deep. New Zealand win.
New Zealand held on to their nerves to pull off a close win and kept the series alive.
Hello and welcome. It is the 4th T20 International of this Bank Kalfala presents Dafa News T20I Series 2023. Pakistan take on New Zealand live from the Pindi Cricket Stadium here in Rawalpindi. Well, the first couple of them were won by Pakistan and New Zealand bounced back in the third T20I in Lahore. The series now stands at 2-1 with 2 to go. On a cool, breezy Pindi evening, the players, well, all jumpered up because there is a lovely breeze and a slight chill. Well, one thing that does promise is the action. That won't be chilly. I'm sure that'll be hot and fired up because we are in Pindi where we saw plenty of fireworks during the recent HBL PSL. New Zealand, well, they'll want to come out and level the series to a piece. It's runs galore and runs paradise when you look down at that Rawalpindi surface. Let's not forget the average first inning score here in the HBL PSL was 209 with the highest score here in that tournament of 262. So bowlers, well, the margin of error very, very slim. The toss, Pakistan won it and Babar Azam elected that they will bowl first. New Zealand, Tom Latham said that there are runs on the surface and he will look to get a good first inning score here. Alongside me, as always, the very dapper Grant Elliott.
Oh, well, thank you, Rouge, and good evening to everyone who's getting ready for Eid. Very exciting. Tom Latham at the top. They'll have to change something here in New Zealand. They'll have to be a little bit more aggressive given the historical high runs at this ground. But Shipley and McConkey come in to the team. So it'll be interesting to see how Tom Latham revolves his spinners.
Well, Pakistan, they've gone back to the team they played in the first couple of games with Zaman Khan with his death bowling accuracy and those slingy Yorkers comes back in and he's replaced by Naseem Shah. Well, earlier on, Sikandar Bakht caught up with one of the young Kiwi stars.
their nerves, and they managed to pull a victory off, keeping this series alive. And it was an overall collective team effort. I've got Rachin Ravindra alongside me. Rachin, it's been a roller coaster ride as far as the last game goes. Just tell us a bit as a player out in the field when Iftikhar was going great guns. You guys as a team had believed that we can pull this off.
Oh, for sure. I think the way Iftikhar played was incredible, and he showcased the way to bat on these wickets sort of down the order, and his hitting power was incredible. But I think it was always just trying to focus on what we can. Hopefully the outcome will sort of take care of itself. I guess the whole thing, if you try too hard to win, then you put pressure on yourself, and you hope probably you don't execute as well. So I think it was for us to try and do the processes. We know what's best, and hopefully everything will sort of take care of itself, especially the way he was batting.
Yeah. And then that win also, what it does is that it just gives you a self-belief as a team that we are in the series. So bringing that momentum into this game here in Rawalpindi will work.
Oh, yeah, I think momentum in this game is massive. And obviously, if you were down 3-0, that series is over. So it was awesome to keep the series alive and keep it going. But look, at least we kind of know their players now. We know how they play. So, and that momentum hopefully will help us out. But look, again, Pakistan's a world-class team with some very world-class players. So hopefully we can do something similar again.
Now, this ground has been a high-scoring game recently. You're a top-order bat for your domestic side, bat top 3. How are you coping with down the order, and what are your expectations as far as with the bat?
Yeah, it's definitely a slightly different role to what I'm used to, but I think on the flip side of that, it's awesome to be able to do something a little bit different and learn a different role. And I think it will definitely help me going back to batting in the top 3, because then you sort of compile that experience you have coming in the middle overs and death, and being able to sort of discover those little different options that you have sort of gone through, but also the way Iftikhar batted and the way he sort of went about his business. Obviously, we're all sort of different players, but trying to learn from those guys, and obviously the guys we have in the team and how they finish it off. So it definitely is different, but I guess out here, I think it's shown in the PSL some ridiculously high-scoring games. So hopefully it's another one of those great games.
Yep. Now, in the end, just a quick one on your name, Rachin Ravindra. Rachin, how did it come about? There's a bit of a story behind it.
Yeah, there's a bit of story that we don't usually sort of come upon in, these days as much. But yeah, sort of my parents were big Indian cricket fans, and the Ra comes from Rahul Dravid, and the Chin comes from Sachin. Obviously, two incredible cricketers. Would love to sort of be any sort of capacity. I'd love to sort of play cricket like them. But look, at the end of the day, I guess I'm on my own journey. They sort of were the pioneers of what hopefully us all cricketers aspire for. So, like, yeah, that's where it sort of came from.
That's a bit of an added pressure you don't want.
Exactly, those two were great.
Well, good luck with the game today.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Well, you just heard from an amalgamation of Rahul Dravid and Sachin Tendulkar, and that gives us Rachin Ravindra. That's what he just said, that's how he was named. And to officiate tonight, outwalk the umpires, Rashid Riaz and Faisal Afridi. And the New Zealand top order. Well, if you want to get runs under your belt and you want to make an impression with the bat, Grant Elliott, this is the surface, this is the venue to do so.
Well, Aruj, good evening to everyone. And I know that everyone is very excited for Eid, but I am very excited for this game. From what I've heard about this pitch and speaking to the players, a lot of players, Pakistan players, talking about the HBL, PSL, and how it was so tough on the bowlers. They didn't know where to bowl. The curator even telling me, he said, well, it's high altitude here, so the ball travels further off the bat. And you're right, Tom Latham, he looked at it and he raised his eyebrows and said, it looks like a belter. Good game yesterday, or the last game, sorry, against Pakistan for Tom Latham. And Chad Bowes will be looking to impress. New Zealand need to get off to a good start here with the bat. Chad Bowes especially, you can see how disappointed he was in the last game, desperate to get a score. He's got starts but hasn't kicked on. And an opportunity for him, another one on what you saying is a fantastic pitch, and I guess we'll get first look at it. You want to get wickets early, and that's what Pakistan will be looking to do, won't they?
That's exactly what Babar Azam said at the toss. For all of those who just joined us, it's the 4th T20I, and Babar Azam won the toss. And he said, we will have a bowl first. And absolutely no surprises to whom that brand new white kookaburra is thrown to. It's Shaheen Shah Afridi with those in-swinging Yorkers. And as a batter, so many times we've spoken about the fact that you know what's coming, but his accuracy and control and his reputation, well, that precedes him. He's got the brand new ball. One slip he will start off with. Here we go. 4th T20I, Pakistan versus New Zealand. clipped round the legs, and those will be runs in terms of a boundary. Latham and New Zealand, well, they're off and running.
Oh, it's 2 black marks for Shaheen Shah Afridi. Very rarely do you see him bowling loose deliveries. The first delivery in the last game, the Pakistan innings, he did the same. He just drifted down leg. He's searching for a little bit of swing. That's the issue. He's starting it straight and it's just sliding with the arm. Easy pickings for Latham, and he's off the mark. Brilliant to get off the mark with a 4. Just eases the nerves.
That's better. It doesn't take long for Shaheen Shah Afridi to get his radar correct. He's got 2 fielders on the leg side, in particular for Latham, who likes that pickup shot and who's strong off his legs. Deep backward square and deep mid-wicket on the boundary for Latham.
Yeah, it is. It's an issue trying to when you swing the ball, because you can see there's a 4th slip in place. Shaheen Shah Afridi has had an opportunity with Latham off the back foot a few times. And that line there, if it swings, he's all right. That's hitting the top of off stump. But if it doesn't swing, and it sometimes takes a little while as a bowler to just establish how much swing there is in the air. We've seen it with Shaheen Shah Afridi in the past 3 games.
You don't really mind this, because one of the most important aspects or attributes that Shaheen Shah Afridi has is that swing. And to go searching for it is what he does best. He's down the track a little bit. Does he get enough timing on this? Yes, this outfield lightning quick. And Tom Latham, he's up to the task. 2 boundaries for him now in the very first.
Well, I said that New Zealand needed to start off well. They needed to start off aggressively. Latham with a little shimmy just outside off stump. Gets that ball just under his eyes. As you said, Aruj, he likes it there. He's be able to manipulate his position in the crease to get the ball where he wanted to. Well timed for 4.
Well, in the first 4 deliveries, Grant, what we've seen, there hasn't really been that swing or that shape away from the left-hander, the shape into the right-hander that Shaheen gets.
Yeah, and that's indicative of the field. You can see there was 2 slips in Lahore. Now the slip goes out. No slips already, and we're just 4 balls into this game. So that probably does tell a story. The wicket looks good. Not much through the air.
Upish and over. And 4. Now this is a really good aggressive start from Latham. It was a slow one, and he's just played that check over cover.
Well, not only are we seeing field changes, no slips, but we're already seeing pace off the ball from the Pakistan bowlers. That is a magnificent shot from Tom Latham. He looks like he's on fire now. He's got off to a great start. And now we've got, this is exactly what happened in the last game, Aruj. 9 off 1 ball, and then suddenly someone started playing with a sight screen.
And like you said last time, this was a strategy from Pakistan to slow the game down. And it worked, because Shaheen Shah Afridi came back and he cleaned up Chad Bose with an in-swinging delivery. First over done, a good one for New Zealand, 13 for none. Couple of changes for New Zealand. Cole McConkey and Henry Shipley come in, and Jimmy Neesham and Ben Lister, they go out Captain said they're probably carrying a couple of niggles. And Zaman Khan, how good is he at the death? We've seen in the recent past. And how good has he been with the new ball? Very new to his T20 career. The bowling partner for Shaheen Shah Afridi. All official appointment confirmed. Team director Mickey Arthur in the house. Short arm jab into the leg side. Couple of runs, get Chad Bowes off the mark.
Yeah, off the mark as well, first delivery. It's a shot he actually plays well in New Zealand, but he gets underneath it because there's bounce, whereas here it just turns into a short arm jab. These are the 3 boundaries so far. New Zealand off to a bit of a flyer here in comparison to the last 3 games. Compliments of the captain, Tom Latham.
Shot. How's that for a shot? Raced off the bat for 4.
Wow. Well, if you want to make a statement early on in your innings, this is it. Zaman just gets a little bit width. And look at that. Straight off the middle of the bat. He didn't even move, Chad Bowes. Great balance. Through backward point. Zaman, he might feel unlucky, but Chad Bowes doesn't think there's nothing unlucky about that.
He goes for the follow-up in terms of banging it in short.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a bit of that, Aruj. We're going to see you can't just settle in on a length. You can't let the batters settle. There's going to be changes of pace, but also good use of the bouncer. If you can use the bouncer to good effect, it can hopefully relieve a little bit of pressure in your over. Yeah, well, let's have a look at this New Zealand team. There has been 2 changes. Bowes, Latham, Young, Mitchell and Chapman stays the same with the top 5, and then Rachin Ravindra, young talent. Cole McConkey and Henry Shipley, the 2 players that are coming in. Jimmy Neesham and Ben Lister, who just have a little bit of niggles. Adam Milner, Ish Sodhi and Matt Henry to finish off.
Just off radar here, Zaman Khan. It's what the kind of surface does to you, and you did a piece on the pitch report up front that on this surface you're looking to probably get those Yorkers in, the wide Yorkers in. Anything, you can't get stuck onto a certain length even up front, and the bouncer has a change up, and the margin of error in that on a surface like this, well, pulled away. Good bit of fielding by Haris Rauf on the fence.
Yeah, nice shot from Chad Bowes. He's looking good at the crease. You're right though, Rouge. It's about getting in and out of sets when you're under pressure. And I think, you know, Zaman, perfect player to come in for Pakistan because he bowls extremely well at the death. And when you look at this pitch, the players, well, the batters, they had a great smile on their face because they said, look how white it is. It just looks so flat.
Change of pace. Really good follow-up delivery to end the over. 2 done, New Zealand 22 for no loss. Well, there's a reason why we call it the runs paradise. Just 4th on the list of venues since 2020. Have a look at that run rate. 8.76 behind Leeds, Taunton, Nottingham. Average first inning score here at The recent HBL PSL was 209. Highest score here, Grant Elliott, hold on to your seat, 262.
One-day game.
Take 30 overs off that one-day game. T20 game, my friend, less than a month ago, 240 scored on 6 occasions, chased down twice.
It's crazy. It is crazy when you think of cricket like that, when you're scoring on average 12 and over. That's 2 a ball. So as a bowler, you turn up here and maybe your hamstring just starts hurting a little bit. You tell the captain that you might need a rest.
Very well bowled. Very effective with the new ball. With his arm, with the angle, the new ball just skids in. So Chad Bowes will have to be careful when he rocks back onto that back foot.
Yeah, opportunity for Chad Bowes here through the offside. We saw that in Lahore. 2 men back, mid-on, deep square on the boundary, leg side.
You talk about that opportunity on the offside. 5 fielders in the ring, and you see Chad Bowes just giving himself room. That's where I think Imad comes in with an opportunity to pick up his wicket with the one that slides faster in.
Yeah, it's well bowled. Little game of cat and mouse there. Chad Bowes giving himself a little bit of room. He wants to access that offside. Imad Wasim brilliantly bowled. He just followed him. There's 2 ways you can go there. You can either go wide, take it out of the swing path of the batter, or follow them. And that way they just hit it to the field, get the one, get off strike. This is a good over from Imad so far.
Latham goes for the sweep. He's top-edged fielder under, takes it. Haris Rauf brilliant on the outfield. Pakistan draw first blood.
Well, it's a shot he knows well, and he plays it extremely well, Tom Latham. He was off to a flyer. The change in bowling was a little bit quicker from Imad Wasim. Latham almost heading across the swing path of Imad, but getting a top edge, rolling his hands on it. And, well, any catch is a good catch. A little bit of juggling from Haris Rauf. Pakistan, first blood from them. And it's the captain, Tom Latham. He goes for 13, 24 for 1.
Will Young, the new batter in for New Zealand, out. He walks at number 3. Want to improve on his numbers, of course, and once again why we allude to the Pindi surface, because it provides that perfect opportunity. Now, whether he takes it tonight or not, we will find out later, but it is there. Off the mark with a single. Excellent over comes to an end from Imad Wasim. Just a 3 off and the opposition skipper's wicket. 3 done, 25 for 1. $25 for 1. Tom Latham back in the dugout. He went for 13, but them in quick fashion, courtesy 3 boundaries. Chad Bowes and Will Young at the crease. Shaheen Shah Afridi will now bowl his second. Was expensive in his first over, went for 13.
A nice touch from Will Young. 2 singles to get him underway. Well, this was the wicket of the captain, Tom Latham. Top edge, Haris Rauf, catch it again. 2 chances at it. He looks up in the air. Oh, you don't want to make any mistakes with batters, especially when they get going. It looked like it was going to be Tom Latham's night at one stage.
What a wonderful piece of timing. Glorious shot for 4. That'll give Bowes some confidence.
Gee, this is a beautiful shot. The cover drive, placement. He's just eased that straight off the middle of the bat. But look at the balance. You look at that as a young player. That is something to admire. Chad Bowes has played 2 excellent shots now. One a cut shot, one through cover. That prompts Shaheen Shah Afridi to come round the wicket.
Stand and deliver. Nobody moved once again. And this is some really good ball striking from Bowes.
Well, he looks fluent tonight, Chad Bowes. He's balanced. And his placement is just absolutely perfect. High elbow. Hitting the ball late. Just using his timing. Not overhitting it. Looking in great touch. And he's got off to a great start.
And he's not done. Make that 3 in a row to Shaheen Shah Afridi. Chad Bowes, well, if he wants to make an impression, he's doing that really well tonight.
We've seen a cut shot, we've seen one through cover, we've seen one just caressed through the offside, and this one now pulled through leg. Shot of authority against one of the world's best in front of square. A good sign that you've seen the ball early.
3 in a row. Grant Elliott, you seem to have a wry smile on your face. Similar stories. Chad Bowes, South Africa to New Zealand. Let's watch some of this before that. How special. Timing at its very best. This is some really good cricket.
Yeah, when you see a bowler like Shaheen Shah Afridi getting hit for back-to-back-to-back boundaries, you know it's an extremely good wicket. Yeah, similar path. Chad Bowes, South Africa. That's the end of the over. 39 for 1. Yeah, Chad Bowes moved to New Zealand, a number of South Africans, and from Prison College, went to Christchurch and has forced his way into this team through sheer weight of runs. Obviously a few players missing, gone to the IPL. It's given him an opportunity, but an opportunity well deserved. That's up front for Canterbury, very aggressive player, but looks like someone who's got an extremely bright future, and I think that was seen early on in his career when he came to New Zealand.
Oh, man!
Well, we've seen 2 South Africa to New Zealand migrations make really good headlines. Grant Elliott, Devin Conway. So if Bose is in the similar boat, time will tell.
You know something really funny, Aruj, is that I played against Imran Tahir, who played for Pakistan under 19, and I was playing for South Africa under 19. And then Imran Tahir went and played for South Africa, and I went and played for New Zealand. So it does happen. It's not just the New Zealand team.
Makes room and times it really nicely. Through the offside for Young.
Well, Will Young enters the game. It's been Chad Bowes and Tom Latham. How's this for a shot? Struggled for fluency in this series. That is a fantastic stroke.
Good aim, chopped it on. The follow-up delivery. Well, Imad Wasim has the last laugh as he picks up 2. End of a wonderful over again. New Zealand 44 for 2.
Well, he's a tough bowler to hit through the leg side because the ball skids low to try and play that stroke. I think Will Young would have been better off trying to cut it just like he did the previous delivery. Imad, well, he's making some impact in this game. Will Young, fortunately, he has to go for 6, 44 for 2.
New Zealand loses Will Young, and in comes Daryl Mitchell to the crease.
Bowes has looked good through the covered region, but have a look at that wicket. Imad Wasim's double strike. He gets that inside edge. Probably the height, as he was expecting, wasn't there. But at the inside part of the bat and onto the stumps there. And nevertheless, it's a wicket. That counts.
It was the arm ball, wasn't it? It was the arm ball, kept slightly low. He'll be extremely disappointed, Will Young, because he is a good player, but he just can't get going at the moment. The player who does get going is Daryl Mitchell, in great form. 51 matches, best of 72, 550s, good player. He's a player that shows good intent. He doesn't like to get bogged down. And we have Zaman, who is charging in. He's into his second over.
Average first inning score, Mills here, is 209 during the PSL. We've seen scores in 240 chased down here. And that's probably one reason why Babar has decided to chase here after winning the toss, because it's very much possible out here. And lots of prizes to be won. And this car that in front of you on your screen will be awarded to the PCB, to the winner of the Jazz recharge activity in Pakistan versus New Zealand series. And you stay tuned for that lucky winner. At the end of the series, we'll be announcing who's going to get this car, the proud owner of that car, one of you guys. Again, an inside edge, but earned him a single. So keeping in mind there's a high scoring ground here, New Zealand will have to keep up with that run rate, despite of the fact they've lost 2 in the power play. And the runs are available out here.
It's a pitch that can break bowlers' hearts by the looks, and listening over the last couple of days with the scores have been posted in the PSL in recent times. And the bowlers, any wicket they can get is a real bonus, but they do go for runs. It doesn't matter how they come back.
Didn't get hold of that. Let's have a look at Ahmad Wasim's over and how it led up to that wicket, the variations in that turn. And have a look at this, how the ball goes. This is the turn there, just straightens up a little bit. This one's rains straight, but everything is within the stumps there, almost within the stumps. And there, just around that 4th, 5th off stump, and gets that little less bounce and gets the wicket. Ramps that shot. Tough to describe that, but he was quick in improvising. The bounce there, that's very well done. A boundary to end the power play. This is the best power play score from New Zealand in the series, 50 for 2.
Power play is over. New Zealand so far this series is their best score, 50 for 2. As Ahmad continues, he's 2 for 8. He's bowled really well off his 2 overs. Came on to the fold at a crucial time. You can see here the boundary of the last ball, and that's just touch. That's just guiding the pace of the delivery over the keeper's head. It actually went towards the leg side as well, so it's a great shot to get it there. Chad Bowes, nice touch. It's just not all about hitting the ball hard. It's using the pace on this very, very good surface. You can see the dismissal before of Will Young. You mentioned it just before, so kind of just how he was bowling the ball, but I noticed is the variation in pace. 93 kilometres an hour to 80, dropped it down to 85, then down to 106. I think what did Will Young most of all is that variation of pace. The wicket is not turning hugely, but the art of a good spinner is to be able to, a bit of guile and the change of pace is really out for Will Young.
Yeah, that's why he's a little tough customer to deal with, especially with that new ball inside the power play. I mean, he's not a big turner of the ball. He's never been. It's just the variations, and of course that arm ball is the way he, operates. And he'll keep attacking the stumps. You've got to work for your runs, try to use a lot of risk against him, and that can be the reason why you lose one. And that we saw that lack of bounce and got a wicket. There you go. Again, that bounce. It just didn't get up, did it? Mitchell was trying to get to the ball, came down the wicket and just went under his bat. And Rizwan does the rest. So that's 3 to the spinner here.
Mitchell trying to be positive. Quicker ball from Ahmad at 98 kilometres an hour. You'll see here, getting through the ball. Mitchell wanted the intent, trying to get out to the pitch. It was just the wrong option to that delivery. And Rizwan, as quick as you like, whips the bails off. Daryl Mitchell, this is a big loss for New Zealand. He departs for just the 3 today. 54 for 3.
The informed Chapman comes out, number 5. He's got a job on hand. He's still just 6.5 overs. And we can use his form, the way he played in Lahore. New Zealand were hoping Mark Chapman would come to the party. Mark's got 3 now. It's the last ball of his over number 3. That's a good one, first up. And that's 54 for 3 after 7.
For 3, New Zealand. Chapman, the new man at the crease, and Chad Bales, well, he is holding strong. Jordan Ball cuts it out just for the single. A swing knock. He is producing Chad Bales. Take a lot of confidence for this, but Shadab, very, very good bowler. And he'll take confidence that spin have taken all 3 wickets so far, and all to one man, Ahmad. He's 3 for 12 off 3. The change of pace is really working. Mark Chapman gets off the mark early. He's a very good player of spin, Mark Chapman. You see the wicket again. Predetermined shot from Daryl Mitchell. He just wanted to get out to the pitch of the ball, didn't get anywhere near it, and it's kept low, and he's tried to make up for it by trying to cut it through the offside. We need to be playing with a straight bat.
I totally agree with that. I mean, as we said, Imad doesn't really turn the ball, so you don't have that worry that will pass the outside edge of the bat. If you come down the wicket, just go ahead with a straight up bat. But yes, probably the pace, 15 kilometers quicker than the previous one, and then again that bounce. Or should I say the lack of bounce. This will be interesting competition here on its own, Chapman and Shadab.
Chapman, a naturally aggressive player. It'll be interesting to see how he plays it over the next 3 or 4 overs, because they need to rebuild this innings. We have Shadab Khan, 91 matches, economy really good, 7 runs and over.
That was uppish for a while. Yeah, he'd love to play that ball with the spin. He loves that mid-wicket region. We've seen him clear the boundary by a mile. And you just get a feeling that he does read the wrong one as well. Chad would be the man to stick around and bat till the end. He's got 32 of 21. And he'll keep strike with that leg by. And score now moves to 61 for 3 after 8. Imad Wasim 3 for 12 in his 3. He's been taken off the attack now. And some fast bowling will be in operation. Haris Rove for the first time. What a series he's having. 3 games, 10 wickets. 4, 4 and 2 in Lahore. He is one option that you'd want to go to as a captain, especially over number 7 and 15.
Ahmad's been the destroyer. He's picked up all 3 wickets. The big one of Tom Latham at the start. Shot was on. It was a top edge, and he's picked out the fielder. A deep square. Poor shot from Will again, kept low, played across the line. Predetermined shot from Daryl Mitchell, kept low, tried to hit it square. Each of those wickets, it was a slower ball previously, those last 2 wickets. Before the dismissal, where he bowled a lot quicker. Oman, change of pace, it's working for him well. Haris Rauf, one of the bowlers in world cricket that just gets you going. That turns TV screens on. Every person in the crowd here in Pindi will be loving watching Haris Rauf, and he is having a fantastic series. He has the X factor.
What the 3 wickets have done is it's been 2.5 overs since the last boundary. 15 deliveries. That's the effect that falls onto the batting side. How close was this one? And just in time, sending his partner back.
Well, the biggest factor to slow down the run rate is taking wickets, and they've done that. So from Haris Rauf, we'll see pace. I think we'll see a lot of slower balls as well. His variations, his skill set. .143 kilometres an hour on a very good batting surface, and I think we'll see a lot of variation from Haris Rauf. Well home, well home. This may happen here for the New Zealand side because they need to keep the scoreboard ticking over. If it's not coming in boundaries, they need to do it with singles and twos. So they need good communication running between the wickets and try not to panic, even though they do have to lift this run rate.
What a good shot that is. What a good shot that is. Straight as you like. A boundary, much needed boundary there.
He's a stylish looking player, Chad Bowes, when he gets going. There's no doubt about that. Look at this. Look how still he is here. One movement with the front foot, a high elbow, a check drive. He's aware of the gap down the ground. It's a very good bat he's got. And he's just played straight through the line, Sikandar. You discussed this a couple of overs ago. The importance on this wicket to play straight.
Oh, leading edge, could have gone anywhere. Ends up at third man for a single. Chad now has his highest T20 international score. 68 for 3 after 9. You talk about T20 cricket and around the world, you'd say in the power play, if you've got 45 or 50, even if you've lost a wicket or two, you're still there. You need a batter or two to take you to that big score. They got 50 for 2. That's a good stop. That's a good stop. Everyone's got their tail up because you've got 3 wickets. You don't want to give away anything. And Chad Bowes is looking to score against every bowler now.
He has to bat through, Chad Bowes. He has to bat through, hold the innings together. Still look to score runs. The explosive man needs to be Mark Chapman once he gets in. A very good looking player, very stylish player. Mark Chapman, the natural way he likes to play the game is to take the spinners on. How is he going to approach this?
How does it work? We're talking to Rachin Ravindra, bats top 3 in his domestic. He still has to wait because he got batters that the captain prefers to come ahead of him. And then for him to come out there, depends on which over he gets to bat, but then immediately he doesn't have much time to settle himself in. liking this challenge. He said that at the start of the game. Oh, it's in the air. It's in the air just over that fielder at the 30-yard circle. A boundary, that is what counts. 4 more to the total.
Much needed boundary. Streaky. Hearts were in the mouths. Shadab Khan was the wrong end. The quicker one too, going through the pitch, and Chapman really wails the bat at it, picks up a big edge, and it just goes over that man in the ring on a 30-metre circle. Wry smile from Shadab Khan.
Oh, this time it's high in the air. It's again going to land in an vacant zone. Is it Chapman's day? Well, 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 halfway through, 74 for 3. And it's also time for drinks here in Pindi.
First 10 overs going Pakistan's way, and courtesy Imad, all 3 wickets to him. He's come back for his last over. Hit through the offside powerfully. That had been timed beautifully through cover. Boundary.
Some devastating timing there from Chapman after the drinks break. Have a look at this. Rocks back, gives himself just a little bit of room. Also illustrates not only his timing, but also how quick this outfield is.
Now that previous shot also illustrates how good the pitch is. And you just feel after the 10 overs, the happier of the 2 camps would be Pakistan.
Yeah, I think that they're slightly ahead of the game. If you look historically here, Bears, I reckon there would have been a discussion by New Zealand. They're going to have to up the ante here through the middle stages.
Yeah, pumped leg side, but protection.
That'll mean taking the spinners on. Shadab just bowled 2 overs. Imad in his last over. He has been excellent. 3 for 18 he's sitting on at the moment. The crowd are loving it as they prepare for Eid. Festive feeling here in Islamabad.
And slower, wider. And normally this Rawalpindi Stadium fills up very quickly. And as Grant might have gathered, people are off from tomorrow onwards for Eid, so a lot of people going back to their villages, back to their hometown. So yeah, first time that we've seen a T20 game in the recent past which isn't packed to the rafters. 11 run, 81 for 3. Shadab into the pitch. Both spinners are trying to attack the stumps, and what we've seen so far is there's not a lot of flight being provided. It's into the pitch and try to bowl as quickly and straight as possible. And it certainly worked for Imad Wasim. 4 overs, 3 for 19 for him. And Shadab now into his 3rd over. So the spinners have provided that stranglehold as such for Pakistan.
And in Lahore, we saw Mark Chapman. He took Shadab on, hit him for a couple of maximums over wideish mid-on.
Short and 2 wide, so thumped away, and that'll race away to the fence.
Yeah, this is either a poor delivery, or he may have just sensed that potentially Chad Bowes was coming down the wicket. It was short, it was wide, it was the wrong one. It just sat in the wicket and gave Chad Bowes so much time to adjust and pump it through the covers.
Better this time, but an even better shot. Slog sweep, carries all the way, and that is some shot to bring up your first T20I 50. And also Chad Bowes will get PKR 50,000 from Brighto Paints to celebrate 50 years of Brighto Paints.
Well, this has been an excellent 50 from Chad Bowes. It was full from Shadab Khan. It was 2 full. Previous one short.
Rocks back, hits it through the offside protection this time around, but the outfield is so quick that there's no chance to get back for the second.
Been absolutely brilliant, Chad Bowes. Wickets have been falling around him. Look at this. What a way to get to your 50. Power and placement. Absolutely sublime form tonight.
Just a single, but a good over for New Zealand. 13 off, 94 for 3. of 34. Chad Bowes. His partnership now 40 of 31. Imad Wasim, he's bowled his 4. Haris Rauf back in the attack. Round the wicket. to Chapman. Inside edge, almost a drag on. Single completed.
A wee bit of shape here from Harris Ralph. Coming around the wicket. But Chad Bowes, his first T20 50.
And to celebrate 50 years of Brighton Plains, the player who scores 50 right now, Chad Bowes, will be reported 50,000. .8 New Zealand going at. And struck well, but there is protection. Chad Bowes with his 50 gets PKR 50,000 from Brighton Plains. They're celebrating 50 years of Brighton Plains. He's laid the foundation 50 of 35, but we know in the recent past this has been a very high scoring ground. 11 games of the HPL PSL, 209 was the average score. The edge, and that is the best place you can hit, just past the keeper.
Oh, perfectly placed edge. Let's see where this hit. Bottom of the bat, I thought. Yeah, almost the toe of the bat for Chapman. Perhaps the odd ones just kept a touch low. See there, toe of the bat. Bit of fortune for New Zealand. They need to up this rate. They need at least that one boundary and over, and that brings the 100 up.
He turned away, want a couple. Good timing. Oh, that'll need to be checked. Fahim Ashraf. They have completed two, but there'll probably be a check on whether Fahim Ashraf was able to drag that back.
Yeah, I reckon he's done well. Hopefully it doesn't touch the shoe on the way. A few combat rolls. Yeah, I think he should be fine, Baz. Well placed from Chapman. I must get the sense now that Chapman's in. He's going to look to be a little bit more aggressive with Chad Bowes on the other end, who's on 50.
Nicely done. That's exactly what Harris Ralph is trying to do. Round the wicket, get the ball angling back in. But what an innings this has been from Chad Bowes.
Well, he started well. He cut one, hit one through the covers, and then there's one through mid-off. That pull shot there was a dominant shot of Shaheen Shah Afridi. Almost showed his intent throughout the innings. And the lusty blow at the end, the 6, to get him over the line for his first T20 50. What an innings it has been.
Playing a mess. He'll go through for a bye. Rizwan won't like that, but a decent over from Harris Ralph. 13, it's 103 for 3. Seven overs remaining. If they go at 11 and over, they get to 180. I reckon 180 is the minimum. We want to step on the gas. Chairman Management Committee, Najim Sethi. Down the track, not a lot of timing, drags it leg side. Chaz fan pulse. Which player has the most runs in Pakistan versus New Zealand T20 matches? Kane Williamson or Babar Azam? Chaz fan pulse moment.
Bears, what do you think the chat was at drinks? He was 74 for 3. I almost feel like they were slightly behind the game, given the history of this pitch.
A little tuck into the leg side. And there is that protection deep square. Didn't get it fine enough. And it's quite cool here at Rawalpindi. And it's time for Tapal Tea in the Tapal Tea Lounge. Garam Garam Chai. Beautifully done. The Yorker. You wanted a lot of Yorkers. That's one for you, Grant. Ajin Sethi, Shakil Sheikh, member, management committee, Ayaz Butt. Standing, sitting outside, just absorbing the atmosphere as well. Quite a boutique ground, this, Grant, so wherever you sit, you're right on top of the action. Drag leg side. So far, it's been a good over. Shaheen Shah Afridi just conceding singles.
Yeah, you feel that straight after drinks, New Zealand wanted to press the go button. You know, like maybe they were slightly behind on the run rate. The run rate just 7.83. When we look at the projected score, they go at 11s, they get 176, which you'd think would be well below par on the surface.
A short one, another single. So first 5 deliveries, just 5 singles off. Shaheen Shah Afridi want to just finish off the over, close that out. Thick motor oil, unveil the real peel to reveal. Last delivery of the over, just 5 singles conceded. He's gone round the wicket as Shaheen Shah Afridi. And goes Yorker, punched back, and he's caught. He's just stuck out that right hand and nonchalantly plucked that away.
What a catch. What a catch from Shaheen Shah Afridi. I think it stunned everyone on the field, stunned the crowd. And it definitely stunned Chad Bowes, the player who was in and playing so nicely out of the air. Wow, he can't believe it, Chad Bowes. Shaheen Shah Afridi, well, he manages to produce moments of brilliance that change games, and that's why he's one of the best in the world. Chad Bowes goes for his first T20 50 on 08 for 4.
Number 6. Rachin Ravindra. You need to go some. 6 overs remaining. I just feel New Zealand behind the 8 ball at the moment. Fahim Ashraf. Inside air, that'll do, goes to the fence.
Oh, Baz, you love your edges, don't you? It doesn't matter how you get runs in this game. Chapman's been a little bit fortunate this time. Just manages to get an inside edge. He's someone that You feel now would be a little bit of pressure going on him. Man in, 33 of 25.
Grant, how do you play this? You want to get to 180 minimum. You want to make sure that you play high risk shots. That's a single there. You get bowled out, that's fine, but you have to go now.
Let's have a look at this. It was almost a Yorker. Shane Afridi coming round the wicket, trying to spear it in. Look at the catch, follow through, big man up there, plucks it out of the air. Everyone loves it. I think, Baz, the way you look to play it is you've got 34 balls left.
Places it offside. Just a couple of runs. Cold rings, ice lollies, Sensodyne sensitivity free moment, because life too short for sensitive teeth. Well, yeah, now 33 deliveries remaining.
There's 33, so Rachin Ravindra used to say, I'm going to face half of those. I've got 16 balls. What can I score in 16 balls, or what do I need to score in my 16 balls? Because if you're looking at 180, that means another 65 on the board, 64 on the board, so he needs to get twice as that. He needs 32, so does Chapman. That's minimum.
Turkey Syria Earthquake Relief Fund, PCB, and Government of Punjab invite you to donate generously. All PCB proceeds of gate money from Pakistan-New Zealand match on the 24th of April in Rawalpindi will be donated to this relief fund. You can contribute with those details of the bank and the bank account number into the offside. Just the single. So Fahim Ashraf, after that first delivery which went for a boundary via the inside edge, has controlled things nicely.
Yeah, it's good captaincy as well from Babar Azam. Shadab came on. He took a little bit of tap in his over, replaced with Shane Afridi, and now Fahim making up that over of Shadab's, who sits at 3 overs. Gives him options, but I think he's rotated his bowl as well today. Hasn't allowed New Zealand to settle into a rhythm.
Oh, outside edge doesn't carry. Dot ball to end the 15th. It's 117 for 4.
New Zealand have lost 4 wickets, 5 overs now remaining. Average first innings score here 209 in the recent HBL PSL. Chapman 36 of 28, recently joined by Rachin. Kyle Mills, you got to look at the surface earlier on. Yes, there's runs on it, but what do you think a good first innings score here is going to be?
Well, all the chat leading up to this evening's game is 210 plus, which is pretty daunting for a bowler.
Jazz fan pulse. Which player has the most wickets in Pakistan versus New Zealand matches? Tim Saudi or Haris Rauf? Answer on the app and have some Great prizes come your way.
So 210 could well be the case, or it might not be. It's hard to judge at this stage because a lot of slower balls and the spinners have come into play big time.
Crunched through the offside. Well, 210 or not, but that's one way to get a move on.
This is a good shot. Having a really good series, Mark Chapman uses his feet, advances down the ground, so that tells me the wicket's a touch slow. Be able to do that to Harris Ralph, giving confidence. The wicket's a little bit on the slow side, as we've seen spin really come into play. Ahmad picking up the first 3 wickets with his variations of pace, as well as the fast bowlers using their slower balls.
That's going to be back-to-back boundaries. Once again, using the pace, creating the angle. And Mark Chapman is playing a very good knock here.
Again, having confidence to leave his crease and come out of the ground. Once he has done that, Harris Ralph has adjusted and bowled shorter. So since the slow nature of the wicket allows him to have time, he has charged him. Harris Ralph bowls really fast balls. So he's adjusted quite nicely there, Mark Chapman. So look, this wicket, it might be a 190 wicket. It might not be a 210 wicket.
Even for 190, they need to go over 14 and over. "11 off the 5, 1 more to go. And New Zealand would like to put this away to the boundary as well. Yeah, some chili, cold drink and ice lollies. Sensodyne sensitivity-free moment will help after that, because life is too short for sensitive teeth.
Yeah, no doubt they have to bat exceptionally well in these last 25 deliveries to post a really good score to bowl to.
A quick run to end the over. 12 comes off Harris Rauf's third. 16 done, 129 for 4. Skyscrapers is what they want. New Zealand in this final 4. The last 30 balls have gone for 48. Last over was a good one. A couple of boundaries from Chapman.
Again, this delivery here just hasn't quite got up again, has it? We've seen a lot of deliveries just keep low. Yes, Aman's got that funny trajectory. We've highlighted that well throughout the series. But you can see here, it's a shorter ball. He's got his fingers down. It just hasn't gone through at all. And Rachin Ravindra's got through the shot.
He did well, and he'll probably feel he missed out, Chapman. With fine leg up, the shot was certainly on. So you'll have to re-bowl that, Zaman Khan. Well, the crowd always seems to have fun with the KFC Flip the Bucket Challenge. Flip it, land on your head as quickly as you can, and expect KFC to deliver some really good finger-licking good prizes. Or chicken.
At KFC a couple of days ago, actually.
Oh, all of Pakistan heard about it. Good.
It was excellent. Just Grant Elliott was just embarrassing. He ate so much chicken. I was embarrassed.
Well, it was on Twitter, it was on Instagram. KFC was having a field day. Spicy, I heard, as well.
He got the sweets.
Well, Eid festivities round the corner. We're celebrating it tonight as well. Donned in Eid clothing. Back pass for bowler. Has been crunched with some power.
Good shot, this one. This is a super shot because he's still at the point of impact. Fast delivery, going for the Yorker. He just goes through the line of the ball. Having a great series, Mark Chapman. I just love his intent. He's such a positive player. No matter what the situation is, he tries to play his shots. Yes, he's given himself some time today because the game dictated it. He still has that intent.
1,000 runs in T20I cricket for Chapman. And his 50 through the offside, punched again. And he's playing a very good knock here. 53 to Chapman, also the leading run scorer of the series.
The thing that stands out here for me is at the point of impact, when he hits the ball, he is so very, very still, and that gives him the best chance at the middle of the bat. He brings up his second 50 for the series. He's a very good player. New Zealand moved to 139 for 4.
Once again, really nicely timed back past the bowler. That's been drilled back past the bowler. Back-to-back boundaries, 3 in a row in fact. And to celebrate 50 years of Pride of Paints, for any player who scores a 50, they will also be awarding 50,000 rupees. That also comes Chapman's way. And to hurt Pakistan even more, Zaman Khan has overstepped. Faisal Afridi will now also signal the free hit. What an over this is turning out to be. 15 off it, and now the free hit.
Well, it's ramping up here in Pindi. Look at this. We'll just watch the front foot. Slightly over. It's a big no ball. This is a free hit for Mark Chapman. Where does he go?
Back pass again. Calls for 2. This is the big over New Zealand were looking for. 17 have come off it. Just still 1 delivery left to go. And Chapman is making the most of it. It was a couple of deliveries ago when he timed it beautifully back past. And just to tell you a measure of the wonderful knock Chapman is playing, only 7 dot deliveries tonight for him. Nicely dug out. Great over here from New Zealand. 18 come off Zaman's third. It's 147 for 4. Most expensive of over so far, 18 the previous one. Shaheen to continue. He gets bat on that. No, he doesn't. White's counter tonight has been high from Pakistan.
Wide first up. That's the 4th wide tonight. One new ball we saw in the previous over, which brought about the free hit. You can see here the best dot ball percentage from a batting team is New Zealand, 32.5%.
Comes down the track and tries to heave it into the leg side. Nothing but fresh air. And the last 1 year in T20I cricket, New Zealand have the best dot ball percentage. So every 100 balls they play, they only play 32 deliveries dot. And Chapman tonight just the 7. Through the offside. What a sensational shot. One after the other. Chapman continues.
It's 150 for New Zealand, and he's on a boundary hunt, Mark Chapman. Picking up boundaries in the previous over. This is a wide delivery. This is a poor delivery. He's been two sides of the wicket so far this over, Shaheen Afridi. This one's wide. Creates width for Mark Chapman. And he plays very square of the wicket. Fast outfield.
Fielders on the leg side and mid-off on the boundary. That's a good delivery in the block hole. Pleading Shaheen Afridi, just felt in live view there might have been going down. Timer's ticking out. They will have a discussion. Babar Azam comes in close. He's got this knack of picking up the DRS review and he's gone for it.
Original decision is not out. I have checked this is a fair delivery. Move on to spin again, please. Ball is close to the. Please confirm with the outright. Roll forward, roll forward. Go through the pad, yes. No batting ball. Go to the ball tracking and be ready. Rashid waiting for the ball tracking. Winning decision is not out. Impact in line. Wicket umpire's call. Rashid. Stay with your decision not out. Wait for the call. You on screen. Make your signal.
Excellent on-field decision by Rashid Riaz. It is a game of fine margins, and the fine margins have gone in favour of Chapman.
What is really evident, and everything's a learning period, and what the New Zealand bowlers should take note of, and the skipper Tom Latham, as we see a replay here, just clipping the stump, umpire's call not out, is how effective the spinners have been. Ahmad 3 for 19 off 4, Shadab 3 overs just for the 25, no wicket. All the fast bowlers have gone for runs, so Tom Latham needs to be thinking how he's going to structure his bowling innings. They're going to try and scamper here through for a 2. Rachan Ravindra is playing his nice little hand as well. So the spinners are going to play a big part, as they have done so far in this innings.
The action's heating up in the Tapal Tea Lounge as well. Fans enjoying garam garam chai. 8.77. And you mentioned they've got the 3 spinners with Paul Conkey tonight as well, with Oz off spin. Fresh air again.
I think that's going to play a big part in this game with 3 spinners that New Zealand have.
Yeah, Pakistan have the 5 left-handers, 2 up top, 3 in the middle. And that'll be, like you mentioned, for Latham. The changes he's made with the 3 spinners tonight.
That's right. You can just see there with Shaheen Afridi as well, the slower ball, the slow nature of this wicket. So the fast bowler's going to have to use their change of pace as well.
Well directed in the block hole again. 9 of the over, 18 done, 156 for 4. A little bit of rain in the air at the Pindi Cricket Stadium. It rained yesterday in the wee hours of the morning, today as well, and the ground staff, well, they're ready.
Rain, spectacular lightning last night. It was awesome.
Was that on your night out last night?
We saw it all.
the cutters again, is the change of pace again, and those haven't been able to be connected in this last couple of overs by New Zealand. Good partnership, 48 of 28, but the last 2 overs now extremely important to maybe get to that 180 mark.
Slow ball's going to play a big part here for Haris Rauf. Let's watch this over. He'll have variety in his faster delivery and his slower ball and a slow ball bouncer.
Big appeal. And this time it was pace on. It's a change-up and the control in the change-up that makes Haris Rauf so effective, especially in the back end. Now we talk about this so many times that he bowls the most difficult overs, the back end of a T20 game, where the batters are all ready to launch everything out of the park, and the margins in that context become that much more slim. And he's bowled quick again tonight, 145.6. Connects. The sound of the bat. It's a sweet one. It travels the distance as well. 50-run partnership also comes up.
He advances down the wicket, and he swings it hard toward that mid-wicket region and into the crowd. Look at this. You can see him moving down the wicket. He's done this 3 or 4 times, Mark Chapman. He's a confident player at the moment. He's in good form. And he's hit it high into the crowd. Much needed boundary. And a 6-er for New Zealand.
Once again, the key in that is where he's so still when he makes contact. He has such a strong base, which allows him to hit through the line. Fine leg falls back, mid-off comes up in the ring. Where's Haris Rauf going now? Looking for the block hole.
Just a single this time. 71 off 42, Mark Chapman came in at a really tricky time. But he still has the confidence to play shots like that once he gets in. Just such a positive mindset. Now Rachin Ravindra, he comes to the crease now. He's on strike. He's a really good player, this kid. Very, very early on in his career. Normally bats top 3. So he's learning a new role in the toughest level of all, and in some pretty tough conditions. But let's see what he's got.
It's high up in the air. It only has air miles vertically. Takes it. Babar Azam takes a very, very good catch. It was a skyer, and Haris Rauf has his first.
It's not a game of cricket unless Haris Rauf gets a wicket. He picks up another one. He was under pressure too. He was under the pump. Slower ball again. How many times have we seen a wicket with a slower ball? And Babar Azam, safe as houses, those hands. Haris Rauf picks up his first wicket for the evening. Rachin Ravindra, he heads back towards the sheds. Just the 8 runs for him tonight. New Zealand 164 for 5.
Well, it's absolutely pouring here at the Pindi Cricket Stadium. Play has been called off. Players are running back into the dugout. And the groundsmen, well, they're getting their work cut out. Have a look at that. The crowd also running for cover. The pitch needs the covers to come on very quickly in order to protect that square. It is quite a sight, though. Not good for cricket, though.
Not good at all. It's raining cats and dogs out there. Babar Azam still marshalling the troops. But this is not what we want for Eid, is it? Got 3 days of glorious sunshine. That's what I'd planned. And you see the crowd ducking for cover. waiting in anticipation to have these two teams in their city. And Mother Nature is playing her hand. Hopefully it's just for a short period of time.
Bit of lightning as well in that background. It does make for a beautiful sight if there was not a game of cricket on, but like you said, Kyle Mills, Mother Nature and cricket most often than not don't make a good combination. The ground staff are underway and trying to cover the square. 164 for 5 where New Zealand are when game was called off. 18.5 overs, and the start of the show tonight for New Zealand so far with the bat. Mark Chapman, 71 of 42, the highest run scorer. Bose played a tremendous knock until he was caught in the bowl and undone by Shaheen for 54. And the two of them have propelled New Zealand to 164 for 5.
Mark Chapman, he's been the star of the night for New Zealand. 71 not out so far, but he's played some really good cricket shots. What I like about him, he takes control of his game, uses his feet, comes down the wicket, not afraid to take on the fast bowlers. Some big sixes, some lusty blows along the ground for 4.
That's been a aggressive knock. He took control of the game, and no matter how short the game, partnerships always key. Chapman and Bose 54 of 43, and Chapman and Ravindra 56 of 32. They came in good time. And the Pakistan bowlers, well, they went for runs earlier on, but then Imad Wasim, how good was he with the ball? Bowled in the power play, picked up 3 important wickets up front, 1 apiece for Shaheen and Rauf. And they've picked up 5 in that bowling effort so far. Yeah, it was Imad when he came on, picked up the opposition skipper who top-edged it straight down. Second attempt for Haris Rauf, chopped on from Will Young. He hasn't had the best of tournaments, and then the big wicket. Daryl Mitchell down the wicket and missed one. Clean stumping. Shaheen Jafri did the cotton ball, stuck his right hand out and picked up that wicket when Bose was going all guns blazing. The last wicket to fall so far, Rachin Ravindra. Skyer, very safe pair of hands from Babar Azam. That was Haris Rauf's first wicket. Well, at the moment, the news is not good because it is not just raining, it is hailing. There is a hailstorm here at the Pindi Cricket Stadium. There is lights, and the ground, if we can have a look at the outfield, is slowly turning white with white pearls of hay. Kyle Mills, how is this for a spectacle?
Mother Nature is angry tonight, isn't she? Look at that. I've only seen this once before in Sydney in the 90s when the West Indies were playing Australia. I never expected this, travelling to Pakistan and coming to Pindi. Wow, look at this. It looks like it's snowing out on this outfield. The covers are on, the groundsmen are run off the park. A very good reason as well. They will be getting hammered by this hail. Look at that. I've never seen anything like that before. Look how big that hail is.
Everyone in Pindi Cricket Stadium is ducking for cover because it is summer. It is not the winter here in Pakistan, and it is not snow. It is, well, it is something quite spectacular. The Pindi Cricket Stadium has turned white and it is covered with hail. We have a hailstorm here in Rawalpindi. Play has been suspended and the ground staff, well, they've had to hide and take evasive action.
Get the helmets out there. Teams, Pakistan and New Zealand cricket teams, take the helmets out to the ground staff. They are in need. It is now whiteout.
Well, everything is happening here at the Pindi Cricket Stadium, and we are going on a short break. Don't go anywhere because we will be back shortly.
Welcome back once again, and believe it or not, this is what happened some time back. Hailstorm at the Pindi Cricket Stadium surprised everyone, came down heavily. First it was a bit of rain, and now, eventually, the match officials have called the game off. This is the current picture at the moment. The batting card tells us just before the stop of the day's play, 164 for 5. New Zealand asked to bat first, and Chapman was looking good, 71 or 42, with an over and a delivery to go, and the match was called off. Bowling, spin was leading the way. Ahmad Wasim 3 for 19, and a wicket for Haris Rauf and Shaheen Shah Afridi, and the 5 wickets that fell belong to these men. And a quick look at where the series stands. So the first game, we know 14, Pakistan won that by 88, then followed by another win by 38 runs. And then 17th April, New Zealand won it by 4 runs and made it 2-1 in the series. This game called off, so now, which means Pakistan needs to win the last one to win the series, or New Zealand can draw it. So we have a break out here because it's going to be Eid very soon in Pakistan. So Bank Al-Falah presents Dafa News Pakistan New Zealand 5th and final T20 International will be on the 24th of April. Will start at 8:50 in the evening Pakistan time. Same ground, Pindi Cricket Stadium.
Well, this pretty much tells you the story. The hailstorm like this I've perhaps never ever seen in my life at a cricket game. And there was absolutely no recovery after this. It's been quite the weather in Pindi for this fourth T20. Hello and welcome to Inverix Solar Energy Pitch Side Show. Well, we would have hoped to come at the end of the game, but that is not to be because the match has been abandoned. We've seen a hailstorm like we've never seen before, at least in April in Pakistan. It was quite a sight, but unfortunately, the match has been called off between both the sides. There was a bit of discussion between the umpires and all the officials, but in the end, it was decided that it's better that it is called off. Now, I've been joined by Arooj Mumtaz and Bajat Khan. Arooj, इतनी तो मैंने अपनी जिंदगी में ओले नहीं देखे बरसते हुए जितने मैंने आज देख लिए क्रिकेट मैच पे।
मैं तो ये हाल था कमेंट्री पे कि मैं ओले बोलने वाली थी क्योंकि समझ ही नहीं आ रहा था कि हल्की सी बारिश, बट जिस तरह से द लश ग्रीन ऑफ पिंडी स्टेडियम टर्न्ड एब्सोल्यूट वाइट। आई मीन इट वाज क्वाइट अ साइट, मतलब देखने के लिए जितना मैजेस्टिक था एंड मदर नेचर एट इट्स एब्सोल्यूट बेस्ट। तो ठीक है, वी लॉस्ट अ गेम ऑफ क्रिकेट, बट जिस तरह आपने कहा, मैंने भी कभी आई नेवर सीन समथिंग सो ब्यूटीफुल बिफोर।
बाजद, आपके शहर में हमें
कराची बारिश होती है, हेल स्टॉर्म तो दूर की बात।
वही मैं कह रही हूँ कि दैट्स वन मोर थिंग योर शहर हैज, ओके।
Is it something which is common here? Because I've at least not seen it in Lahore.
Hailstorm तो होता है, लाहौर में भी होता है।
इस किस्म, इतने इस लेवल का
आप वो ग्राउंड में खड़े थे ना, तो शायद वो मैग्नीट्यूड आपको ज्यादा, घर के ग्राउंड में देखती तो शायद मैग्नीट्यूड नजर ना आता। लेकिन या इस्लामाबाद है और मतलब सारे दुनिया कह रही है 45 बहुत गर्मी हो गई है, देख लें।
ये वैसे वाकई आई मीन लगता है कि कोई और मुल्क है ऑल टुगेदर। अगर आप कराची जाएं इस वक्त या लाहौर जाएं तो वहाँ पे तो एक डिफरेंट है। बट एनीवे, थोड़ी सी क्रिकेट की भी बात कर लेते हैं। थोड़ी बहुत हुई भी थी। 164 फॉर 5 पे मैच जो है एंड हुआ। इमाद वसीम की अच्छी परफॉर्मेंस थी, न्यूजीलैंड की तरफ से भी हैं, कुछ कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस नजर आई। तो एक्चुअली देखा जाए तो रूज मैच एक इंटरेस्टिंग फेज में था.
एक्चुअली मैच वाज शेपिंग अप टू बी अ गुड वन. जिस तरह से न्यूजीलैंड का चैट बोज ने शुरू बहुत अच्छा किया, बट बीच में एक लल पीरियड आया. उसके बाद चैपमैन जिस तरह से बॉल स्ट्राइक कर रहे थे, पाकिस्तान की तरफ से हमने देखा जितनी तेज बॉलिंग करने की कोशिश करी उतनी ही बॉल तेज ट्रैवल कर रही थी. स्लोअर वंस वर टू गुड इफेक्ट, बट हैप्पी फॉर इमाद, और उसने 4 ओवर का स्पेल भी पूरा किया. तो एक तरीके से अगर पाकिस्तान के लिए आप देखें तो जो न्यू बॉल ऑप्शंस हैं उसमें जमान, शाहीन, इमाद और रऊफ भी वो पावर प्ले का 1 ओवर करते हैं. तो उस तरह से अगर आप देखें तो पाकिस्तान के ऑप्शंस और पिंडी की सरफेस पे खास तौर पे एक स्पिनर का कि 3 विकेट लेना, नॉट फॉर मेनी रन्स, आई थिंक दैट वाज गुड टू वॉच.
होम ग्राउंड है उनका, इमाद वसीम का. ही नोज हाउ टू बोल इन दीज कंडीशंस, चाहे लेंथ को एडजस्ट करना हो या फिर पेस को एडजस्ट करना हो. आज बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त उन्होंने बॉलिंग की, विच इज़ व्हाई ही इज़ आल्सो अ हीरो ऑफ द डे.
Hero of the match, brought to you by Inverix Solar Energy.
हमेशा इनका बॉल ऑब्वियसली स्पिन तो नहीं करते, लेकिन जो स्वर्व है वो लेफ्ट हैंडर के लिए अवे जाएगा, राइट हैंडर के लिए अंदर आएगा. The good thing about his spell was that he bowled very quickly and within the stumps. Didn't get a lot of hit.
Hero of the match, brought to you by Inverix Solar Energy.
अच्छा, आप दोनों से मैं ये पूछना चाहती हूँ कि डू यू थिंक इमाद शुड बी पार्ट ऑफ द ओडीआई स्क्वाड? बाजिद, I'll start with you.
ODI squad. Now look at the ODI squad and then you think फिर वही नवाज पे आप डिबेट फिर नवाज और इमाद की होती है. Now if you look at the bowling, then Nawaz is, I think, in the middle overs. Nawaz is quite useful. Imad very good at the top of the game. मतलब power play में नए बॉल से बहुत अच्छा है. But I don't know if you want to use him that much जब आपके पास इतनी बैटरी और फास्ट बॉलिंग. T20 में I think any surface, any condition, he should use the new ball because it's very difficult to get away.
जी रोज.
I think Imad for T20 is a no-brainer. For one day again आपके पास options क्या हैं? नवाज है लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर, बट इज नॉट द सेम काइंड ऑफ स्पिनर. वो बीच में आके बॉल करते हैं, थोड़ा सा ऑब्वियसली जिस तरह का इमाद का बॉल तेज लग के निकलता है उस तरह के नहीं है. बट इट डिपेंड्स अगेन, आई थिंक इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द कॉम्बिनेशन. अगर आपने खिलाना है तो 15 में डालने की जगह बनती है. अगर आपके 11 में ऑप्शन 1 और 2 में नहीं फिट होते तो फिर देन अगर T20 के लिए हैं तो आई थिंक लेट्स बी वेरी क्लियर अबाउट हु वी वांट एंड वेयर वी वांट. तो इस तरह से जैसे इफ्तिखार एंड इमाद 2 डिबेट्स इस वक्त चल रही हैं कि वेदर दे शुड बी पार्ट द वनडे स्क्वाड. फिलहाल वो वनडे स्क्वाड में नहीं, विच सॉर्ट ऑफ पेंट्स अ पिक्चर ऑफ वेयर पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट इज गोइंग. बट वी हैव अ न्यू थिंक टैंक, वी हैव न्यू पीपल इन द डग आउट इन टर्म्स ऑफ फ्रॉम डायरेक्टर टू कोचिंग स्टाफ. हाउ दैट चेंजेस थिंग्स इन द फ्यूचर आफ्टर दिस सीरीज वी डोंट नो.
बिल्कुल वो देखना पड़ेगा कि क्या होता है, क्योंकि इस वक्त ओडीआई स्क्वाड में उसामा मीर भी है एज अनदर ऑप्शन हु इज स्पिनर इन दी ओडीआई स्क्वाड. तो काफ़ी कंपटीशन है ओडीआई स्क्वाड में. देखना पड़ेगा कि इज ही एबल टू मेक अ प्लेस फॉर हिमसेल्फ. दैट विल बी समथिंग दैट वील हैव टू वेट एंड वॉच. इट्स टाइम फॉर अ ब्रेक एंड वी विल बी बैक शॉर्टली.
इधर आजा, साडी दी गल सुन ले. डब्बा देंगे बिरयानी का.
वेलकम बैक ऑन इनवर्क्स सोलर एनर्जी पिच साइड शो और पाकिस्तान की बात कर रहे थे इमाद वसीम की परफॉर्मेंस की पर ऑल्सो सम टॉप परफॉर्मेंसेस फ्रॉम न्यूजीलैंड आज उनकी बैटिंग ने भरपूर फायदा उठाया ऑफ द विकेट दैट दे हैड चैट बोज वाज extremely impressive today Aruj we've heard a lot about him about his talent but to perform right at the top on this ground fully utilize the conditions.
And I think it was there was a lot of talk around the fact that yes, he can play the shots, and again on a surface of where Pindi, where the bounce is truer and you sort of trust the surface. What was key that he took the game on. He was willing to be the aggressor without taking too many risks. He gets into good positions and stays still. In all those shots, if you see, he's very still. So it was more about timing and placement, and he could play good cricketing shots, which all came off, and he got a 50 in the end.
बट यहाँ पे सिर्फ चैट बोज की परफॉर्मेंस नहीं थी मार्क चैपमैन इज ऑल्सो हैविंग अ डिसेंट सीरीज सो फार ही सीम्स टू enjoy playing against Pakistan baz.
I think the only throughout the series the only New Zealand batter who's looked in and who's had the I'd say had the level or had the know how to play against this attack. तो लाहौर में भी बहुत अच्छा खेला इधर जहाँ पिच थोड़ी सी बेहतर थी आज तो बहुत ही शानदार शॉट्स मारा था मतलब पूरी सीरीज में ऐसा लगा कि एक ही वो बैटर रहा है जो कि जब भी आया है तो इज लुक्ड इन कंट्रोल.
Yeah, he seemed in control definitely of all the shots that he was playing. He also features in our Stat Attack today.
Stat Attack, brought to you by Inverix Solar Energy.
Second highest score of his T20 career, Mark Chapman comes up against Pakistan. Even जो third highest है वो भी पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ है इसी सीरीज में 65. So it seems like he's really enjoying himself and it's good to see that he's getting this opportunity here in Pakistan. Yeah, so मार्क चैपमैन ने भी स्कोर किया उनकी तरफ से और हम देख रहे हैं कि चैट बोज ने भी स्कोर तो लेकिन जिस तरह से आज की सिचुएशन थी मैच की मतलब एक पॉइंट पे शुरू में इमाद वसीम टुक विकेट्स बट सॉ अ बिट ऑफ फाइट फ्रॉम न्यूजीलैंड क्या लग रहा था कि किस तरफ जा रहा है मैच इन टर्म्स ऑफ द स्कोर अभी तो मैं पहले इनिंग्स की बात करूंगी बिकॉज मजे की सिचुएशन थी 18th ओवर था 165 18.5 19th ओवर में अब चले गए हुए थे और कुछ अच्छी बॉलिंग भी थी कुछ अच्छी बैटिंग भी देखने को मिली.
आई थिंक अगर आप पाकिस्तान को कहते हैं कि आफ्टर द 18th ओवर 160 ही होगा स्कोर बोर्ड पे तो वो कहते बिल्कुल ठीक है. शायद क्योंकि हिस्ट्री ऑफ दिस ग्राउंड है कि बहुत हाई स्कोरिंग पता नहीं आज मुझे ऐसे लगा कि शायद बॉल थोड़ा सा नीचे रहा है लेकिन फिर भी पिच बहुत अच्छा था तो पाकिस्तान वुड हैव एक्सेप्टेड एनीथिंग 100 200 अगर 180 190 चेस कर रहे होते तो आई थिंक दे वुड हैव थॉट के वी आर फेवरेट्स एंड आई थिंक us in the commentary box would have also thought के पाकिस्तान are favorites.
Yeah, definitely. जिस तरह कि हमने यहाँ पे इस्लामाबाद में scores देखे हैं पिंडी cricket ground में there have been chased down in the HPL PSL this wicket looked like a belter. So in that sense, Pakistan was perhaps a little ahead in terms of chasing it down. All right, that was the stat attack for you.
Stat Attack, brought to you by Inverix Solar Energy.
अच्छा, अब फाइनल मैच अरूज होगा ईद के बाद और क्वेश्चन यही है फैंस की तरफ से, सबकी तरफ से, कि और प्लेयर्स को चांस मिलेगा. एहसानुल्लाह हैं, मोहम्मद हारिस हैं, कि बिकॉज दैट दिस इज द लास्ट T20 दैट यू हैव.
देखिए, जिस तरह अब तक पैटर्न चला है, हमने जितने भी स्क्वाड अनाउंस होते उसमें 12 ही हमने ट्राई किए, क्योंकि हमने एक ही चेंज किया था, जमान वर्सेस नसीम, और वही चेंज हमने वापस किया. तो हमने 12 ही प्लेयर्स अपने ट्राई किए. 2-1 सीरीज है, तो न्यूजीलैंड हैज़ अ चांस टू लेवल, पाकिस्तान हैज़ अ चांस टू विन. आई डोंट थिंक दे विल ट्राई. आई थिंक दे शुड, एंड आई कीप सेइंग दिस, कि अगर आपके 15 में नाम है, यू आर गुड इनफ और शुड बी गुड इनफ टू प्ले इन द 11, एंड दैट शुड नॉट मीन दैट यू लॉस्ट बिकॉज यू मेड दैट वन चेंज. मेरे हिसाब से अभी भी आपको बारी देनी चाहिए, ख़ास करके वही शुरू में भी जो 2 नाम लिए थे, एहसानुल्लाह और मोहम्मद हारिस. देखना ज़रूर चाहिए, ख़ास तौर पे इस किस्म की सरफेस पे ऑपोजिशन है, सीरीज़ लेवल है, थोड़ा प्रेशर भी है. देयर इज़ नो हार्म इन इट, बट द वे यू सी थिंग्स पैनिंग आउट, आई डोंट थिंक देयर विल बी एनी चेंज.
Yeah, it looks like जिस तरह से अभी तक हमने देखा है, जमान खान खेले हैं या नसीम शाह खेले हैं, एक ही चेंज ज़्यादा नज़र आया. बाज़त कोई ख़ास चेंजेस नज़र नहीं आए. I don't think it appears as if they're not too keen to try too many things in one match, in one particular match.
देखिए, नसीम शाह का अगर आप देखें तो पास्ट 1 year ही इज़ बीन योर बेस्ट बॉलर. अब जो पैकिंग ऑर्डर इन्होंने बनाया है, आई थिंक एहसानुल्लाह इज़ स्टिल सॉर्ट ऑफ 4th and 5th. जो अफगानिस्तान की सीरीज़ थी, उन्होंने काफ़ी सारे चेंजेस किए. इस सीरीज़ का यही उन्होंने बताया था कि शायद अब जो प्लेयर्स वापस आए हैं वो ही खेलेंगे. येस, आई गेट द पॉइंट कि यू नीड टू ट्राई न्यू प्लेयर्स, येस, बट ऑल्सो द फैक्ट कि अब नसीम शाह या इवन जमान खान was a very new player, Shaheen Shah Afridi coming back into the side. How do you then say कि इनको 2-3 मैच खिलाओ और बाकी ना खिलाओ? Because I think Shaheen Shah Afridi needs overs under his belt. So I don't know how you fit that in. Yes, it looks very good कि जी नया प्लेयर खिलाओ, लेकिन नया प्लेयर किसी की जगह खेलेगा ना.
ठीक है, देखते हैं कि कितने चेंजेस होते हैं और किसकी जगह कौन से प्लेयर्स खेलते हैं. बट लेट्स हैव अ लुक एट द स्केड्यूल टू सी कि आगे आप लोगों के लिए किस किस्म की क्रिकेट बाकी है. ओडीआई सीरीज़ बाकी है, न्यूजीलैंड के अगेंस्ट एक आखिरी T20 बाकी है, वो भी पिंडी में है. द सीरीज़ इज़ 2-1 फ़िलहाल. एंड अगला मैच जो है वो हम एक छोटी सी ब्रेक लेंगे, उसके बाद आएंगे. ईद है, ईद के बाद रिज्यूम करेंगे आखिरी T20 विच इज़ गोइंग टू बी live at 8:15 p.m. We'll be live here at 8:15 p.m. from Pindi Cricket Stadium. All right, जाते जाते ये बता दें, आपको आपकी ईदी मिल गई कि नहीं?
ईदी मिल गई 5 रुपए के इजाफे के साथ. वैसे मैं प्रूफ बताती चलूं, बाजिद ने वादा किया था प्री शो पे 25 रुपए ईदी देंगे, 30 रुपए दिए, 5 रुपए 2024 की भी. तो इसलिए मुझे कराची जाना पड़ेगा ताकि मतलब
24 की नहीं, इस साल एक और ईद आनी भूल गई आप.
अच्छा, तो और दोनों ईदें मुकरा दी. अच्छा, हाँ, मैं कहा शायद उस पे गोश्त वोश ना भिजवा दें. बट
इतनी मेहरबानी आपने क्यों की?
हाँ, मतलब
बाज़त
उन्होंने कहा था
आप इतने मेहरबान नहीं होते, तो इतनी मेहरबानी आपने क्यों की?
जब मैं एक दफा कह दूं तो फिर अपने आप की भी नहीं सुनते.
एक बात मैंने कह दी तो फिर अपनी बात से भी नहीं मैं हटता. ठीक है, समझ आ गई. ये बाज़त खान का आपने सुन लिया है, लास्ट जैसे कहते हैं ना फेमस वर्ड्स ऑफ बाज़त खान, पर्ल्स ऑफ विजडम आपने सुन ली उनकी तरफ से कि एक दफा वो कमिटमेंट कर लें तो वो फिर अपनी भी नहीं सुनते. एनीवे, थैंक यू सो मच बाज एंड थैंक यू सो मच रूज. अपनी ईद को जो है एंजॉय करें. ईद मुबारक टू बोथ ऑफ यू एंड ईद मुबारक टू ऑल द व्यूअर्स दैट आर वाचिंग अस. आई एम श्योर, आई होप कि आपकी ईद बहुत मीठी हो, अच्छे खाने खाएं और एंजॉय करें और अच्छी ईदी लें और ईदी दें भी. एंड मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली वापस आए क्रिकेट मैच देखने, which will be in a couple of days. So we'll inshallah see you in a couple of days time. Enjoy your Eid.
Catch it. Catch it. Catch it.